So I wanted to do a video. I sadly ran out of currency. I looked at my bank account this morning and I see a big negative sign. I've been buying a lot of tools lately because I'm worried about availability of tools. I'm moving into a different side of my trade that requires slightly different. Well, it having more specialized tools doing the type of work I'm doing makes me a better technician. And in this environment, I'm concerned about job security, I think, as everybody is. Really, the two things that would put me out of work is my tools get taken away, um, stolen, or I can't get parts. Those two things. Now, the parts aren't really my concern, but the idea of a tool breaking or tool being lost and not being able to work is a nightmare. If there aren't replacements available, and that's where my head's at. Um, but I bought a bunch of tools. I bought a new electronic leak detector, which I'm really excited about. But they processed the payment a little bit slow, and I went grocery shopping, and my grocery bill was a little bit high, and I kind of overshot my bank account like $40. And considering I just got paid, that's not a great thing. So I gotta sell something, and I have fortunately stuff to sell. So I was kind of digging and finding stuff that I didn't really want anymore as far as my collections go. And I found some really cool stuff, and I want to show it off because it's really cool and it should be seen, I think. So back in the day, I used to collect stamps when I was a kid. Oh, I got it from my grandfather, and you know, ask me no questions. Um, the So there's some crossover. I have a little bit of nostalgia with that. I was never, when I was a real little kid, like I inherited stamp collections, but I thought they were super cool. And so I got some of these things, which is a little bit of a crossover when I was getting into silver. And back in the day, let me show it. Back in the day, they had like these postage stamps, and they'd send out. I have a bunch of the stamp ones too, where they did the first edition stamps, but these are the American bicentennial, and I believe this was done through the government. It may have been done through a private mint. Either way, it was probably a private mint, but it was for the bicentennial, so in celebration of the 200 years since America. So this is certificate of authenticity, and this one is the bicentennial Patrick Henry speech, serial number 1440 out of 4000, and I don't know. If you look at the silver, I mean, it's so beautiful. Just the reflectivity of it, and a scene of this no good ne'er do well, causing ruckus a couple hundred years ago. This is another one. So this is the bicentennial of the Declaration of Independence. So what I think is super cool about these is they're not just pieces of silver; they're unopened, like original postmarked, like in the letters. And granted, it's not super old. This is 1976, but this was, the preceding, I don't want to say generation, but like, this was the old kids, nostalgia. A little bit before my time, but my parents definitely would get a kick out of this stuff. So this is the Declaration of Independence, and again, 1776. And then there's a whole bunch of those ne'er-do-wells causing ruckus, getting together and telling people to go screw themselves. So this one, this is a bicentennial of Washington arrives. Again, 1400 or 4000. It's weird that it's the same one. Well, probably not. This one's a little bit banged up, but again, it's cool. I think, like, stuff from the 70s, stuff from the 60s, that's commemorating America. America was different back then. This would have been like a big deal because it's a chunk of silver, which is wealth, and it's like American nostalgia, and it's like 1970s nostalgia, so it's like a whole like onslaught of nostalgia. And then this one is the birth of the U.S. flag. It's pretty freaking cool. I don't know. These are not for sale, so what were they? This is the bicentennial of Patrick Henry's speech, the bicentennial of the Declaration of Independence, the bicentennial of Washington arrives, the bicentennial of the U.S. flag. I got one more here. This one's like folded up fancy, so I don't even know. Oh, it's super fancy. There's a collector's service department. Oh no. Service department. This is from the Postmasters of America. Apparently there's more than one. Oh, through the Franklin Mint. So this is the private mint. That's why there's more than one. Postmasters, I thought it was a little suspicious. But the Franklin Mint's like, it's reputable. It's not like a cheesy. Well, it's a little, it's not like, so if you're into coins, if something's coming from the U.S. Mint, like anything coming from the government, it's a weird kind of cult worship where they worship the government. Like, I don't know. Not really, because there's a degree of authenticity, and when you're looking for that like nostalgic feeling, you want to have like some degree of certainty that what you're holding isn't a fake. So I think that's why a lot of it is like, oh, it's got to be constitutional to be collectible. I don't think that's true because people collect all sorts of stuff. But Franklin Mint's been around forever. I don't think that there's any like issue with that. But it's not government. It's just private company. So this is John Sloan. I'm actually a stunning coin. Postmasters of America commemorative issue number 2. So that's a pretty low number, number 2. I don't know, pretty cool. I like it. All that stuff's not for sale. But I did decide to sell to cover my $40 negative bank account until I can get it. This is big, ugly, honking beast. Say goodbye. You're going to the pawn shop, and I'm gonna sell you for freaking spot price too, because you're ugly. Nobody will ever collect you. It's silver. It's not a real dollar, obviously, but nobody will ever stack these things like they stack bars, because they're like not really stackable, and they're shiny. They call them proofs, but they're not like really proof worthy, because they're, I don't know. I'm just not a fan. So it's going to the pawn shop on Monday, and I'm gonna probably get, what's spot right now, like $25. So they'll probably give me like $100 for this. And I'll get lunch for the week, and I'll freaking cover my negative bank account. And I'll just keep my head above water, because It's all you can do right now. It's not like anybody who has a pile of money is feeling much safer. It's it's a dangerous world, and somebody can sneeze on you and kill you, and somebody can just take away everything you have, because they don't like you. So, you know, I'm not a huge fan of money. I like silver. I like collecting stuff, but I don't feel like money's the objective. And this is just a representation of fucking money that I don't collect in the first place. So I don't know why I would have a silver collection of fake money. You know, it's weird. But I do like collecting this type of stuff. I think that's cool. I think it's just cool. I don't know. It's not like just a chunk of metal that's like, ooh, stacking dollar bills. It's hokey to me. Like this isn't. This is kind of cool. This is a collection. That's worth saving. This is just a financial instrument waiting to be thrown in a fire somewhere, which is what I'm gonna do to it tomorrow, first thing. All right, guys. Later. I just want to show off some cool stuff I found. Peace.